In this video, I'll show you how to complete assignment number 11. Step 1, open up the Google Doc that has been copied for you and start to fill out the notes with the key terms from this Google slide presentation. So you'll notice that there's a bunch of question marks. That's where you're going to type your answer. So let's do the first line together. So Multiview drawings shows two or more, and this should be filled out for you, two-dimensional views of a question mark. So on the notes, Multiview drawing shows two or more two-dimensional views of a three-dimensional object. So not every term that you're going to be filling out is bolded. You're going to have to find it in the notes. We went through the notes together as a class, but if you're absent, you're going to have to go through it on your own. There is part 2, and that's where you'll be creating a multi-view and isometric view drawing of a shape that you make in class. We're using a program called Gravit, and I understand if you're not in class, you're not going to be able to use the shape that you create, so you're going to have to use your mind. If you click on the engineering drawings link, one of the attachments on assignment 11, and scroll to the bottom of the page, you'll see 2 videos, and these videos demonstrate exactly what you're going to do for the 2 different drawings. So an orthographic drawing, which is a series of 2-dimensional views of a 3-dimensional object, and you'll notice that we have a front, top, side view. This is just like what we were doing on Onshape when we were creating the drawings of our house models. It's important that the front is aligned with the top in terms of the width, and the front and side should be aligned in terms of the height. So you can watch this on your own, but I'll just kind of skim through it to give you a preview. And for the isometric drawing, isometric drawings are going to use a different type of grid, and it's going to be in 3 dimensions. So you're trying to show the 3-dimensional shape, whereas the other one, 2 dimensions. On the bottom right hand side of Gravit, there is a grid. You can turn it on, you can change the width and height. Just make sure that if you're doing the multi-view that you change the width and height to the same thing. Ooh, not like that. You can also press Ctrl+ to zoom in or Ctrl- to zoom out. I'm going to insert an image of the shape that I'm creating just so you have a reference. All right. Now I'll activate the pen tool, and I'm going to start off with my front view. So I happen to have a color filling my shape already, so if you want to change the colors, you go to Fills, click on the circle, yours will be white, and then adjust it to the color that you want. So I'll have it green. And I'm just doing one box at a time or one square at a time because I think it's easier to change the color that way. And now I'll do other blue square so you can kind of get an idea of what angle I'm imagining the front of the shape to be. If your lines are not snapping to the grid, or if you notice they're like making curves or something, you can press Ctrl Z to undo, and just make sure that you have this magnet selected, which is the snapping tool. Alright, now I have my front view done. Now I'm gonna imagine looking straight down at my shape if it was standing upright. I'm looking straight down, which means I'm going to see the red block and one of the blue blocks. If you want to drag your screen around, you can just hold down the space bar and then you can click and drag. Next is the side view, and if we were looking at this from the side, I would see a green square. You can see I kind of accidentally curved that, so undo, Control Z, then continue changing this to green. Then you would see a blue square. Yellow square, and a red square. It is a little bit difficult to visualize if you don't have the shape with you in person, so just do the best you can. And if you were absent, then when you get to class, if you want to check to see if your top and side views were accurate, then you can make the shape that you imagined with the blocks that we have in class, and you can modify your design if needed. So now this is my multi-view orthographic drawing. The last thing I'm going to do is label it. If you didn't label and you already submitted your assignment, it's not that big of a deal. I'm just looking for the front, top, and side view. I don't mind if it's not in color, especially with Gravit. It can be pretty difficult to get the color right unless you fully enclose every square, but it can be a little frustrating, so don't worry about it if it's not working. Alright, so this is all I need to do for my orthographic multi-view.